Paris, the women's draw at Roland Garros continued to take shape under the Parisian sun on Friday, as two of the tournament's titans, Iga Swiatek and Aryna Sabalenka, powered into the fourth round without dropping a set, each on a mission to etch her legacy deeper into the red clay of Court-Philippe Chatrier and Suzanne Lenglen. Sabalenka, world number 1 and already a three-time Grand Slam champion, made short work of Serbia's Olga Danilovic with a confident 6-2, 6-3 performance on Chatrier. The conditions were hot, the court was fast, and Sabalenka looked entirely in her element. "The ball flies much faster," she said post-match, referring to the difference the weather made compared to previous, cooler days. "The bounces are much higher. That suits Sabalenka's explosive power perfectly, and she made sure to make it count." Iga Swiatek, meanwhile, had a more complicated assignment on Lenglen. Facing Romania's Jacqueline Cristian, the defending champion breezed through the first set 6-2 but then faced heavy resistance in the second. Cristian came alive, tested Swiatek's footwork, stretched rallies, and threatened to break open the match. Swiatek, though, isn't the queen of clay by chance. Her resolve, honed by 3 French Open titles and a US Open crown, came to the fore when it mattered most. She won 6-2, 7-5 in a match that lasted just under 2 hours, with a second set dragging out to a 76-minute mental duel. It wasn't the cleanest of matches, 20 winners to 21 unforced errors, but it was a win of grit and focus. And as she let out a cathartic yell after sealing it on her second match point, you could feel the relief ripple through the Lenglen crowd. "She used her chances and just went for it," Swiatek said afterward, offering praise to her opponent. On the weather, she added with a smile, "For sure I don't mind. On clay, it gives the balls the extra bounce." Swiatek has now extended her Roland Garros win streak to 23 consecutive matches, and with each passing round, she edges closer to history. No woman has won 4 French Open titles in a row in the Open era. Chris Evert came close. Monica Seles, Steffi Graf, Serena Williams, all dominant, all legends, but none managed the quad. Swiatek, still just 23, is now only 3 wins away. Her next test, the powerful and increasingly consistent Elena Rybakina. Rybakina was ruthless on Friday, dismantling 2017 French Open champion Jelena Ostapenko 6-2, 6-2. It was a matchup of baseline bombers, but Rybakina showed the sharper instincts and the better composure. The first match point was all she needed, a clean, blazing forehand down the line sealed it. She barely flinched. "The fast conditions make it difficult to control the ball," Rybakina said, "but it definitely helps for the serve. I had some ups and downs but happy with the way it went today." She will need every ounce of that serving power and mental clarity to challenge Swiatek, a player she has matched up well against in the past. While Swiatek's clay dominance is undisputed, Rybakina has the kind of offensive arsenal that can unsettle even the most grounded clay courter. Their fourth-round clash is already being billed as the match of the tournament, a potential final played a round too early. But looming in the draw's other half is Sabalenka, who is making a strong case for her own coronation. She's been relentless in 2024, reaching 6 singles finals, the most by any woman entering Roland Garros since Serena Williams in 2013. She's brought that confidence to Paris, brushing aside each opponent with the air of a player not just chasing a title, but hunting a statement. Sabalenka's record at the French Open hasn't always been glittering. She's reached the semifinals just once, but the maturity in her play this year speaks to evolution. She's no longer just power. There's strategy now, patience, calculated aggression. She's playing the kind of tennis that can win titles on any surface. When asked who carries the heavier burden of expectation this year, herself or Swiatek, Sabalenka grinned, taking the question in stride. "Let's just leave it on Iga," she joked. "Since she won it, 3 times in a row?" The crowd laughed. But the subtext was clear. Sabalenka is here, lurking, dangerous, and confident. Both women have different paths. Swiatek is chasing history. Sabalenka is chasing validation on the terra battu. One is the serene tactician, the other a raw force of nature. And both are carving through their halves of the draw like champions in waiting. The Paris sun has emerged, the clay has dried, and the tournament is heating up, literally and metaphorically. Roland Garros often finds its true shape in the second week, and as we approach the business end of the draw, the biggest names are finding their rhythm. Swiatek is yet to hit her peak, but her mental armor remains intact. Sabalenka, meanwhile, is bulldozing forward, letting the heat and pace fuel her game. And now, with Rybakina in Swiatek's path and the pressure of history mounting, we may be in for a Roland Garros showdown for the ages. The court is set, the clay is fast, the queens are circling, and the battle for Paris is just beginning.